Hello there, I'm Buldan YT, and this is going to be the Robbery Bob Man of Steel any percent tutorial for the year 2024. And I'm currently the any percent world record holder and New Game Plus mobile world record holder. And before we start in the run, I do want to make and emphasize this difference between mobile and PC. The difference is it's not in terms of the strats you can do. All the glitches that you can do on mobile, you can also do it on PC. But the only difference is for some reason the upgrades on PC cost like 10 times the amount on mobile. So like for example, grabability 1 is 20 coins. On PC it's 100 coins or something like that. It's hella expensive. So this is why, like, as a community, we all agreed that mobile should be the main category and is the most important category. And even if you're running on PC, you can just use BlueStacks and play on mobile. So like you really have no excuse. And another thing I should talk about is that a recent update to Robbery Bob has added a mechanic called lockpicks, and basically lockpicks are just a limit on how many levels you can play, and and of course the advertisements that play after like a few levels, like every 3 levels an advertisement will play. The way to skip them is by just turning off your Wi-Fi. So you want to make sure that the game is closed fully and turn off your Wi-Fi and open the game from like fresh, and that'll just bypass everything. And I think that might be it. So let's look into the run. I'm going to be putting the run on 2x speed, and yeah, I'm gonna be explaining levels that I see are important and any strats that happen. So right off the bat we already have a strat here. So upon entering the level, we entered the chapter, we entered the level, and to skip the animation and the dialogue that appears at the start of every single level, what you do on mobile is you pause and then restart the level, and you skip the dialogue and the animation. And there is a glitch here that I'm gonna talk about it more in depth whenever I do a New Game Plus tutorial, so I'm not gonna bother mentioning it and explaining it here. But basically it's called TSS. It allows you to walk even during dialogue. Oh yeah, and the things I buy at the at some point, just copy what I do here. Like after the first level, buy 2 stamina and buy 1 speed. And in the description, I'm going to be putting a Google. It could be a Google Docs. I'm not sure what's gonna be the format of it, but basically I'm gonna put what you should buy after each level. And another. I do like 2 glitches here after beating level 1 that I should explain. Uh, if I can go back, come on. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, I beat the level, and normally on mobile, what you have to do is you have to wait for the score tally to appear and the time it took you, basically like a long congratulations animation because you beat the level. A way to bypass this is like for example I did this run on my iPad, so like I'm on my iPad, on the side I have a controller, and basically with the controller whenever I beat a level I just spam X. So I spam X to bypass this, go back on my iPad to press the menu button instead of the next button, which is important because if I go here, if I pressed the next button, what would happen is I had to wait for a long animation. But there was a way that we could bypass this. We would press next and go back to the main menu and go back in, which would skip it. But this method is much faster. Instead of pressing next, just go back to the menu, and you're gonna already be on top of the level that you'll have to be at. So if you do have a controller, you can just keep spamming X to immediately enter the level. And that's how I do this. And these three tricks of restarting in the beginning, using a controller to bypass the congratulations level complete screen, and the menu things, these are done in every single level. As you can see here, I do it. And another thing that I should talk about is the reason why we do a mix of mobile, like touch controls, and the controllers, because if you enter a level with your controller, so like for example I entered and I kept spamming X on the controller, the retry skip won't work. So what you want to do is you enter the level, then you go back to your iPad, restart the level, and then continue playing it. Now, if whether you want to continue playing it on controller or with the touch controls is like whatever you want. It's your opinion. You can do whatever you want. But to be able to do the level complete screen skip, you have to use a controller. And to be able to retry the level, to skip the dialogue at the beginning, you need to be on mobile controls. So that's why we do a mix of both. And I'm only gonna pause on levels that I find like are difficult or seem necessary to talk about. Oh yeah, and this glitch here. This is really easy. This is one of a kind. This is the only level where the scenery has like a big enough gap for Bob to just slide through. So we skip this entire thing and just immediately get the treasure and leave. So yeah. And like what I said, I'm only gonna pause on levels that I see are necessary. Like for example, this one here. When you go down, make sure make sure that as soon as you pick up the treasure, you don't go, because as you can see, the grandma is already here. So if I was there, then her hitbox would have collided with me. So make sure that when you're grabbing the treasure, you're moving at a slightly downwards angle so that she doesn't like collide with you. Now this level is simple. As you can see, I do the same tricks of skipping the congratulations screen, pressing menu, entering the level, and restarting like that quickly. Let me run at normal speed so I can show you that. Oh, this game is so much slower. So like as you can see, you have to like do that like instantly. Like it isn't frame perfect, but it's pretty fast. Now this level I messed up. This level is like a really big mistake that I did. So the way the route worked for this level is that this guy is gonna get angry, he's gonna call an officer, and he's gonna stay here. And I grabbed the treasure. Now, she heard me while I was in this spot here. But then I ran here, so like she didn't see me. She was looking out the window, and then she moved towards the right. And the main point of this part is that I get the treasure, and when I go back, I'll be running around her instead of in front of her. So now when I'm around her, so like if she's looking towards the right and I walk around her, then she's gonna continue moving towards the right because I've created some new sound that's gonna irritate her, which I can probably explain here. So right now she heard me, and the main point was that she was gonna she was gonna be like in the middle of this part here. So the main point was she's gonna try and look here, but I would already be up there. This is my first time explaining something, but basically I messed up. Basically I would have beaten the level like at this point here. That's the big mess up. She's meant to not see me. I'm gonna run around her. She's gonna look behind, and I'm just gonna hide in front of this wall basically. This level is also pretty simple. This one too. You want to just follow my route on this level. Actually, like you want to. It doesn't matter where you get your stamina, but it's important that you have to do it anywhere in this region, or in the region in this like blue area here. It doesn't matter. Make sure that the grandma doesn't see you basically. This level's also easy. Yeah, this one's also easy. It's just following the route and sticking to it as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, and this part here, you buy a lockpick, you get the treasure, and immediately leave. Yeah, this part here is also easy. Oh yeah, and this level. So something that I do in a ton of levels is that if there's a hiding spot, what you can do is be in, so like this bush here. I could be to the right of it, like at the absolute right, like at the maximum range, hide, and then spawn on the left side of the bush, and basically just like warps me, like in a nutshell. That's what the point is. So like right now I'm here, I hide, and like I'm here now. So basically I hide here and then I unhide towards the right of the bush. And yeah, it's just following the route. And now this glitch here. So for all of these glitches, let me just show you. For all these glitches where you'll be clipping through the wall, in all scenarios, what you want to do is like hug the wall, then unhug it, like just tap forward a bit to unhug the wall, so like you're not on it anymore, and then you hide and then hold back and unhide, so you will spawn and clip through the wall, and that's the main point of it. Oh yeah, and if the menu strat wasn't enough, like it doesn't save time, you can also do it at the end of every like level that is the end of a chapter. So like right now, if I beat the level, I was supposed to get like a congratulations, you have completed the chapter, and it's gonna last like a couple of seconds, which wastes a ton of time. So what you can do is just restart and then exit. Going to the menu won't work, it just doesn't, but by restarting, the game doesn't. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it when even I don't know how this strat works. Basically just restart and then exit. And that's how you skip the cutscene for the chapter complete. And now we're getting to chapter 2. Now this level, not this level, this chapter is much more difficult and is the run killer. So basically the only thing I have to take note of here is in this level, this white line, like as you can see, I ran across it and the guy heard me. You don't want to run past the white line, basically. So if I can show you, this white line here that Bob is currently on, you don't want to sprint while you're like on it or going to this area, basically. So I buy the speed, I do the strat, I do this, and the reason why I don't even sprint on the way back is because I want to get like a money bonus that I get by the guard not seeing me, which is what the medal on the left side is. So this is pretty simple, there's nothing to explain. The majority of these levels you just follow the route that I do, like have to strictly follow it. I do another clip here, and there's something that's special to this level, which is that the hitbox of this elevator extends past this wall. So like, I can probably show it here. Let me just go frame by frame. Come on. Yeah, so as you can see, the hitbox of this elevator extends past this wall, so you can just tap it to make the elevator appear while you're on this side. So you don't have to wait as much for the elevator to appear. Now, I also messed up here. I should have waited a little bit more for the guard to go down. So, because right now, I pushed him with the door. And when you push any entity, like any guard or any civilian, by a door because you opened it, they're gonna insta aggro on you, which basically messes up the level. I have to wait here. And another major thing so now while I'm here, If I did the route properly, he would have been on the way up, so I would have immediately escaped. But I had to wait a bit. So yeah, it just wastes a ton of time. And it really messed me up there. For this part here, you just want to run across, make sure that the guard doesn't see you. It's really simple. As for this part here, yeah, you want to make sure that you don't give the guard on the right, the rotten donut immediately. You want to give it to him when he's like about here. The reason for this is because you don't have to wait as much. Because when you give a guard a donut, they become like they can't kill you for like a set amount of time. And if you have given him here, then that guard would have been somewhere in the middle of the hallway and would mess us up. But as you can see, he finished like under this wall that's next to the door, and I didn't have to wait as much. Yeah, this level, like there are some, like the majority of the levels here I would consider are skill based, but this level, for me, is just random. I don't know how to do it like consistently. Yeah, this level is pretty simple, and this one too. You want to make sure that she doesn't see you, and the reason for this is she's gonna try to. So as you can see, the red target area, like let me make it more obvious. The red target area that's inside the elevator. She wants to check inside the elevator, which is important. You don't want her to see you so she doesn't aggro, so the target is removed. And I'm gonna explain why that's important. So, right now I'm just doing this level, blah blah blah. I messed up the key, but it's okay. And this is why it's important. Because of the red target, she had to check inside the elevator, which basically means that if she has to check inside the elevator, she won't just open the doors. The elevator has to go up. So by the time you go all the way back, right before the elevator has to go down again, you can just immediately go right in. And that's why we don't want her to see you in the beginning, because if she did, she was gonna call the guard and her AI is just gonna stop. So that's why you don't want to see her, and that's why you want to go like kind of at an upwards angle from the elevator door. Yeah, in this part I messed up. It isn't luck based. It's just that, well, it is technically luck based, but the majority of the time, like 90%, he is meant to. So like if I just show you, 90% of the time, since the dog is gonna make noise and I'm gonna make noise, he's gonna try and look back. The majority of the time, he's gonna go in a clockwise angle. I have no idea why he goes into like an anti-clockwise angle. It's just kinda BS. It's something that you kinda have to deal with. So yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Oh yeah, and the funny thing that I want to talk about is that the reason I got into speedrunning this game is because of Easy Speezy's video. I saw it and I was like, wow, this game. I remember playing it in my childhood. It was such an amazing game. And I remember in one of the levels, in two levels, he would spend a ton of money on like lockpicks, which are completely unviable. Like, look at how fast this level is. This level is like so much faster than another level that we'll get to show where he doesn't use it, which is this one here. So, prepare for like a ton of information. Well, not a ton of information. There's one skip here, which is so at the start of the level, and this skip only works with elevator doors that look like this. And the way this glitch works is you hug the wall, and then you fast forward, and then you leave. And as you can see, for some reason, by going forward and just fast forwarding, the door for the elevator is kept open. And here I buy the lockpick instead of getting the disguise and walking all around, because that's much slower, which is something Easy Speezy didn't do. I do the same thing with the warping, and this is a really good skip because now we don't have to wait for the elevator at all. We can just go down and Bob dies, and we complete the level. This level is somewhat RNG based. Like this part is all consistent. The only kind of bad part is this. Sometimes he can look down at you, which isn't a run killer, but you do have to wait. So like, let me just show you what I mean. So like, let's say for example that guard did go aggro on you, because like right now he didn't, so I can do the faster route. But if he did, you'd have to walk a bit more downwards here, and then regain your stamina a bit, waiting for him to not aggro. Then you can just do this, it's simple. And the reason why we don't do the trick here is because, oh god, how can I forget his name? Well, I forgot his name, but whatever. The guy's gonna appear and he's gonna go from that specific elevator that we just entered from. So basically, the skip doing it and setting it up is useless. So yeah, as you can see, he came from the elevator we just went from. So doing that skip is useless. This part, although it seems risky, it is really consistent. Like this part is really consistent. He's just gonna walk past you, and you can just escape. As you can see, I pressed the menu button, which forced me to. That's actually really good that I accidentally did that mistake. I pressed the menu button instead of the restart button, and I had to wait through this the chapter complete screen. So that's why you just want to restart and then exit. As for this part here, I guess I have to talk about it for in case anyone who wants to try and get their hands on the world record. Instead of going here, there's a really difficult clip that you can do here, so you don't have to walk all the way there. It's really difficult. I can't get it consistently, and if I can't get it consistently, nobody else can. It's really difficult. It doesn't save that much. That's why I don't go for it. But if I'm if I need a time save to add in my run, then I guess I can implement it. Just try to get the hang of it. Like get good, pleb. Yeah, just follow the route. Is this at 2x speed? Yeah, it is. So just follow the route here. So this part is kind of difficult. You kind of have to do it somewhat invisible. And this is the most lenient wall clip. So like, if you can't get the hang of wall clips, then you should first try doing it with this one, with this wall here. Oh god, that wall is very lenient in terms of the wall clips that you can do. So yeah, this level's easy. I think I messed up in this level, but it doesn't matter. This level was somewhat difficult to route because like I had to reroute all the levels since some upgrades I didn't pick up along the way because of the new money route. So I had to change a ton of things. So the first thing is this guy's gonna get angry. We're gonna have to run around him. And you need to remember this guy's position and where he's gonna go. He's gonna try and go up, which is good. So you're gonna pick this up. He's gonna stay there. You're gonna go back. He's gonna get angry. And this guy, the only reason he doesn't electrocute you is because when a mad scientist gets aggroed on you, sometime, like he has to wait before he can actually do the thing. Like now he can do it. When that animation played, now he can do it. Not when I get him aggroed. Oh yeah, and this is another level where Easy Speezy spends money on a lockpick, even though this level is like really fast to do. Oh yeah, in this level I just messed up. I messed up. All the money that I had, I was gonna spend it on lockpicks or something later on, but I died. And I realized that this level is like it's most important to use. Like using an invisibility potion in this level is more important than using a lockpick in another level, the other level that I was gonna use it on. So yeah, here I do the warping thing, and that warping and doing that is actually important because if you don't do it, then that guy's gonna get aggroed on you like much earlier, and it's gonna really mess you up. Sometimes I consider this luck. Sometimes this guy just sees me for some reason. I don't know why. Oh yeah, and in that part of the level, you can do the elevator clip thing again, where the hitbox extends, but it's just faster to take this angle instead of doing that. It's just faster. This part here, you just walk through. This one's easy. I should have probably done the elevator clip here. I don't think I've tested it though. Or maybe I have and I ruled it out. I'm gonna probably look into this later. Probably after 1 year, after we discover like a new route and some new tech. Instead of creating a fully new any percent tutorial, I'm just gonna update it. Like add a segment for the new strats where I explain them. Or maybe they can have their own separate video, I don't know. But yeah, these last few levels are really just follow the route and stick to it. Now, this level. This level is the most... So, in terms of clip that I do in the run, this is the most difficult one. The most difficult clip overall is the first level. This is just the most difficult clip I do in the run. So, the reason why this is difficult is if you mess this up, you can soft lock yourself. You can clip towards the bottom wall and just get stuck. You really want to be in this exact spot. Like, the only reason I've gotten it consistently is because of the amount of hours that I've spent on this game, like practicing it. Like, as you can see here, I'm even like trying to make sure that I am in the correct spot. I'm like slightly jiggling my joystick, which is invisible because it's a weird quirk that happens when you have a controller connected. But basically, like, I'm trying to jiggle the joystick, I'm trying to get in the perfect spot, and then I just go for it and pray that I don't clip inside. Like, as you can see, this is the strict angle that you have to do. Like, if I went like a few more degrees towards the bottom, I would have probably clipped through that wall. Like, it's really that difficult. And this level is easy. This level I was supposed to spend my money on the invisibility potion that I wasted in that level earlier, but I ended up trying to compromise with a rotten donut. Alright, I'm back. I got a phone call that I had to attend to. So I think I already said this. Here I would have spent my money on the invisibility potion, but I ended up spending it on the rotten donut. And as you can see, I missed it. I really messed up. I tried doing the thing again and I missed it again. Basically, this level is a complete disaster. I would have probably gotten sub 16 if it weren't for this like egregious level. And yeah, you beat and time ends. That's end of the time, basically. So this run, like, it's really far from perfect. This is not the best run at all. Like, as you can see, I beat the level with 50 coins remaining, and I could have probably, and then the other 70 coins. So basically, like, I had 70 coins or 90 coins left over that I could have probably spent on grabability, or in other levels get more donuts to just deactivate any guards that I need. So yeah, so that's how you basically do this level. And for the last part of the tutorial, I'm gonna just explain how we're gonna submit a run. So what you're gonna do is, right now I'm not logged in, I'm not gonna show that, but like, basically you're gonna submit the run, you're gonna put your time, put the link to your video, make sure that you choose between mobile and PC, and note, if you are playing on PC, the main route and glitches, you will be able to do them. It's just that the money route is gonna be completely different, because from what I've seen, because I've done really minimal routing on PC, but from what I see, Mobile is more heavily focused on buying upgrades, while PC is more focused on buying items and abusing them. And if you don't want to deal with this hassle, you can just do any percent chopless, currently a new category. We're probably gonna merge these two together, but we're gonna see if I'm lazy or not. So yeah, so you submit run, mobile or PC, put your time, put the link of the video, choose the category, and then submit the run and wait for one of us moderators to verify the run. And that is the tutorial. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments and I'll be doing my best to answer them. And I'm gonna put a link to the Discord server in the description of this video in case you don't necessarily want to speedrun the game but you want to follow up with the speedrunning scene and any routes. So yeah.